Good morning. Back with episode 2. Everyone, well, quite a few people seem to love my last video. We're heading out this morning. Beautiful. Glass off. And 3 new little lumps to hit. I've been doing my homework, so we'll see how we go. Catch you out there. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. And you know what we didn't do? Come rigged up. So I'm stuck at the boat ramp before we get out there making a couple quick rigs. Don't do this, be prepared. So we're going to run a very basic paternoster rig, 2 hooks down to a sinker. And we're going to use these mustard 7/0 circle hooks. Last video I used a red barbed hook like this, and they're not great because they get stuck in the fish's guts like what happened to the foxfish. But I've also had times where I've had a lot more luck with the barbed hooks. So that's sort of why I rocked one, but I don't like really unnecessarily killing fish. So today we're rocking circles. Now we're going to do a very basic rig. We're going to trawl on our way out to the lump. I like these little Halco 30s. Just chuck it behind the boat, sit there, and you'll more than likely pick up a couple of herring or Tommy Rough, whatever you want to call them. And yeah. So we've just pulled up to the first lump of the day, and this is about the second drop. I had the settings wrong on my little action camera, so all of my head cam footage has no sound, and it really takes away from the video. So next time I go out, I'll make sure that I double check the settings first. But on this clip here, we've got a decent sized sweep. Fishing really light. We're fishing 20-pound flick rods, just dropping them down. It's about 20 metres of depth here. She's pulled a bit of drag. It's always fun fighting it by yourself and netting it. They're about a 3-star edibility fish. A lot of people don't rate them. I think that they're perfectly fine fresh. The smaller ones tend to taste a bit better. This was actually quite a good size, this one, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Take it home. They call it fishing, not catching, and I don't think I've hit as many spots in one morning and caught less desirable table fish. If I catch another wrasse or another rock cod, I think I'm going to retire. Well, fate had it that it was all about to change. I was pretty frustrated, but I pulled up on this spot and I seen something big on the sounder, quite big. So I was fishing with wrasse by this stage, pretty nice sized chunks of bait, because there was a lot of little fish picking at it. Right here I start to get a little bit aggressive with it. I'm trying to strike with the circle hooks, and it doesn't particularly work well. You're almost better off letting them hook themselves, especially if you got a nice bit of bait where the little fish aren't going to bother it. So I have a couple of goes at it here, and I know it's not the right way of going about it. So I sat my rod down in the rod holder, and I've got this little micro jig here. It's a little metal one. I've never had much luck on it. What I was going for was mainly just a little skippy and maybe some bonito or tuna if they're around. I haven't seen one all year. Usually it's around this time, maybe a bit earlier, they're around. But if you watch the rod in the background with the bait on right here, you'll notice it's starting to get hit pretty seriously. And this is where the day gets a bit crazy. So right there, there's a bit of drag, there's a bit of noise. You can't hear it because there's no volume. And I give it a pull to see if I'm on. Now check this out. Ready? It realises it's on. Pulls my rod that hard, it hit the edge of the boat. I'm very lucky I didn't snap my rod. They're very light little carbon rods. And I got a little bit back on him here. I didn't think it was too big at first. I got quite a nice retrieve going on. And then he woke up. And if you could hear what's going on here, it is just carnage. Spooling of spooling. 50 metres a line at a time just being ripped off, and I knew I was in trouble. This little rig, this light braid done well to hold up, but you'll see here she starts shaking and kicking, And this is the worst feeling you can get as a fisherman, right there. This little clip I've added in just because it's a fish I haven't seen in a long time. I remember being about 7 or 8 years old, sitting on a little rock groin down at Taylor Street Jetty fishing, and I caught one of these goatfish here. So this is a goatfish, and I was pretty amazed at it. Anyway, it's been a long... I'm definitely a lot older than that now. And yeah, I think that they're a beautiful fish, a fascinating fish, and we've definitely got a healthy fishery at the moment. I've caught a lot of different species lately. I've caught gurnard and blue devil and a lot of different fish. So our fishery is looking quite healthy. I apologise once again for the voiceover. I'm a fan myself of raw audio, but it is what it is. This one here felt a bit different. It was pulling, it wasn't necessarily biting, and it was a clear sign it was a cephalopod. I knew it wasn't a squid. It was too big to be a squid. I actually thought it was an ockie. We caught an ockie not too long ago, a bloody big ockie, and I quite like catching them because I find them fascinating, but this happened to be a big cuttlefish, and I was pretty excited about it. They're pretty good eating. To me, I can't tell the difference between squid. Now, he comes up and he's squirting. He's already blown his wad, but it was quite impressive. Also, fantastic bait. One of the best baits you can get is I don't know why, but when you catch it yourself and you use it compared to store-bought squid, it's just far superior. Stays on the hook. But now he's got a gut full of water here, the cheeky bugger. They've also got an impressive beak in them. When you open their mouths up and have a look, you've got to be careful of it, but watch here. Boom! It's like a 12 gauge across the boat. Cheeky bugger.
Well, let me tell you, that was an exciting bit of fishing, that was. I got my good akumas out of business, and boy, something grabbed it, eh? I think, thinking of it, it's probably been Sambo. I hope I got it on GoPro, and it absolutely stormed me. It didn't even know I was awake. You know, at first, bang, she's off. And for a bycatch, I caught a big cuttlefish. I'll show you when I get home. Completely bycatch on a little paternoster rig. But I'm pretty happy about it because that gives me primo bait for a long time. And I tell you what, there must be something funny going on, because every time I turn the GoPro off and I have a drop, I just caught a little break here. It's a little bit small, so we put him back. And then I've gone and hooked the monstrosity of a bloody lizard. So I'll take that. The trevallies are here. I'll stick my camera under the water and we'll see if we can see some.
Now these are herring. They're not skippy, but at the same time that these were around, we're also getting a few swallowtail. So that they are beautiful fish.
All right, guys, what an absolute cracking day on the water with a very weird mixed bag of fish. We'll go home, we'll clean it up. It doesn't get much better than that, thanks.
What's that doing to the fish?
No chop.
Oh, chopping.
Ha! Wow. Wow.
Just adding a little Easter egg onto the end of the video for stuffing up with the action cam and not having the raw audio. So here's a little catch and cook with the cuttlefish. She's there ready to go. So we're going to grab a couple pieces of our squid. We're going to dust them in flour. In the egg. In the crumbs, and hopefully I've got this oil spot on at the right temp. Hard and fast, usually you can't go wrong with any sort of squid or cuttlefish because it can go tough as boots otherwise. So the other trick to this is as well, It's having a wet hand and a dry hand. So what I mean by that is it might be pretty self-explanatory, but this hand here is my wet hand, so I'm doing all the breading and egg dipping and cooking all with this hand, and then obviously I keep one hand dry and nice for drinking a beer. And that is what it's all about. There's plenty for tomorrow, there's leftovers, and that's just the cuttlefish. So it's a good way of bringing food home to the family, getting out. It's all about a bit of bloody mental health and staying positive. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching.